Good evening. This is the second episode of She Speaks with Cynthia Gregory. This week was pretty interesting, looking at different things that was going on. One of the first things that I noticed this week was the Millennial Tower swaying because its foundation shifted a little bit. Another thing that I noticed was the Ukrainian people, the Christian people, making a decision not to be swayed or moved by the bombing and the things that were going on over there. They began to sing. Everybody stood like in a train station, and they just began to sing songs to the Lord. Then I saw the shooting, and people refused to be moved. They were like, they're not going to be afraid of the guns and the Russian shooters. They were going to stand for their country. And that made me think about just the different things that's going on. Famine, broken families, shootings, suicides, the racism, all the things that we've experienced for the past 2 years, even at a greater height. Families going against one another, churches divided, different things going on. And it made me think about foundation. So my discussion today is on foundation. And I just wanted to ask, what does foundation look like for you? Is it a mindset? Is it something that you do? Is it something that you believe? For me, it is an attitude. It's a determination to not let anything shake me. And one thing about having a foundation is there are times when you are shaken. You may be shaken. And you have to go back and reset yourself into that structure of your belief or what it is that you deem to be your strength of your foundation. For me, my foundation is the Word of God. As a believer, certain scriptures that I think about. One of them, a reference point, is Proverbs 10:25, and it says, when the storms of life come, the wicked are whirled away, but the godly have a lasting foundation. Storms are going to come. We know that it's going to get worse as the time go by. From politically to just the world in general. You can even go in the stores and see. Like, there's barely any groceries on the shelves nowadays. My petition to you is to consider your source of your foundation. What does that look like? Who is that support system? What is it religiously or spiritually? Where is that source of strength? Do you ask yourself, when times like these happen, where do I run to for refuge? What do I stand for? What do I believe? What do you believe for your life, for your family, for your business? How do you cope with times when it gets unbearable? After you've prayed, after you've signed up to see a doctor? What do you have that grounds you? For me, it's the Word of God. For me, it's the belief that no matter how bad it gets, God is with me. He is my source. He is my strength, my provider, my protector. One of the scriptures that he gave in the book of Matthew, he says, in 7:25, though the rain comes in torrents and the flood waters rise and the winds beat against the house, it won't collapse because it is built on a bedrock foundation. I saw this week on the news in one of the states, I believe it was Washington, where a family had built a house and they had not properly spoke to the zoning for that state in regards to their house being built. So this contractor who they hired had built this beautiful house, but it extended about a foot past the other houses. And because of that, the neighbors complained that the house extended out a little past theirs. And because the contractors had not got it authorized by the state zoning commission, they had to tear the house down again to rebuild it. So, if you want something to stand, if you want to be solid, make sure you connect with what it is that keeps you and your foundation solid. And that way, as you continue to build upon it, you don't have to worry about it swaying. If you get too high, if you overextend yourself, you can always go to your foundation and start it over. Tap back into that foundation and build on it again. And don't be swayed about what's going on in the world. So that's my conversation today is on foundations. Have a good rest of your week. God bless.